What if everything you thought about someone, every assumption, every belief was shattered by a single sentence? Not a scream, not an action, just a few words. And suddenly you see who they really are. This is not just a story. This is a mirror. The tongue speaks, but the heart leaks. Those were the words the old sage whispered as he watched a king fall from grace, not in battle, not to poison, but to the truth of his own voice. And it all began with a test. Before you trust someone, listen to what they say when they have nothing to gain. That's what the sage believed. Not in gold, not in titles, not even in heroic deeds, but in speech, the unguarded kind, the offhand remarks, the quiet judgments, the careless words spoken in the dark. That's where truth bleeds through. The tale of the iron-hearted king. Once there was a ruler known as the iron-hearted king. To his people he was brave, to his enemies he was terrifying, to history he was legend. But to one man, an ancient sage, he was something else entirely, a liar. And here's how that lie was uncovered. Power doesn't reveal character, it reveals the lack of it. When the king summoned the sage, he didn't seek wisdom. He wanted validation. He wanted someone wise to praise his justice, to admire his strength, to confirm that his enemies were indeed wicked. But the sage offered no flattery. Instead, he asked a single question. What do you say about the weak when no one listens? The king laughed. The weak? They're fools, born to serve, born to fail. The world is no place for their softness. And just like that, the illusion cracked. It wasn't the cruelty of his words that revealed him. It was the ease with which he spoke them. One sentence, nothing more. But in that sentence lived his truth. A heart that found strength only in dominance. A soul that feared vulnerability more than death. The heart always slips through the tongue. You want to know someone's character. Don't look at their resume. Ask them what they think about those who can't fight back. Ask them how they speak about the poor, the broken, the forgotten. Because anyone can pretend to care about the powerful, but only the genuine reveal themselves in how they treat the powerless. What slips out in jest is what lives deep in the chest. That's what the sage would say over and over again. Because words unguarded, unpolished, unintended, are the true diary of the heart. We've all met this king. You've seen it, haven't you? The boss who's kind to clients but cruel to waiters. The friend who laughs at the pain of strangers. The lover who whispers charm but insults behind closed doors. And every time you wonder, who are they really? Now you know. They've told you. Their one sentence already escaped. You just weren't ready to hear it. This story isn't just about a king. It's about the people we trust. The people we admire. The people we become. Because the truth is, you've spoken that one sentence too. Maybe not in cruelty, maybe not with malice, but in a moment of weakness, you revealed yourself, and someone heard it. He who mocks the broken has forgotten his own fragility. The sage believed that every human is tested once at least by their own voice. The test doesn't come with a warning. There's no stage, no audience, just a moment, a comment, a choice. And in that fleeting second, the heart is exposed. So now the question turns to you. What have you said when no one was watching? The hidden cost of words. The iron-hearted king lost more than the sage's respect. He lost his people. Not immediately, but one by one, those who had once admired him began to hear the story. That one sentence passed like a secret between servants, scribes, soldiers, until finally they stopped fearing him. Not because he grew weak, but because they saw his heart and it was emptier than his throne. Fear builds silence, but truth breaks empires, and truth once spoken never dies. A sentence is short, but it casts a long shadow. Why does this matter? Because the sentence that reveals you is coming. You will say something one day, and someone will never forget it. Will it be kindness or cruelty? Will it show depth or shallowness? You choose. Every day you choose. The weight of one line, the sage once said. You don't need a dagger to wound someone. One sentence is enough. So ask yourself, What sentences have you left behind? Which ones do people remember? The compliment that lifted a soul, the insult that haunted for years. Because eventually all our words return, sometimes as flowers, sometimes as fire, the power to reveal or to heal. One sentence ended the illusion of a king, but another sentence could restore someone's faith in humanity. You never know what your words can do. You never know who is listening, a stranger, a child, a future leader, someone hanging on by a thread. And you could be the voice that either breaks them or builds them. Speak as if the walls have ears, because sometimes the silence remembers. What kind of heart do you want to reveal? In the end, the iron-hearted king died alone, surrounded not by betrayal but by indifference. Because no one weeps for a man who never bled for others. And that's the final truth. It's not the strength of your body, not the size of your army, but the shape of your heart that writes your legacy. So before you speak again, pause. Ask, what truth am I about to reveal? Because no matter how carefully you walk, your words will leave footprints. A challenge to you right now. Yes, this moment, look back. Remember one sentence you regret. One moment you revealed a version of yourself that doesn't belong. And now do something rare. Speak the opposite, send a message, offer the apology, praise the one you once mocked, lift the one you once ignored. Because if one sentence can expose you, another can redeem you. Let your next sentence be the one that rewrites the ending. That's the lesson the sage left behind. Not to fear your tongue, but to own it, to wield it like a torch in darkness, to speak as if each word echoes forever because it might. Final thought. You'll hear many voices today, online, offline, loud, soft, sweet, bitter, but only one matters most, yours. So when your time comes, when someone asks, what do you think of those beneath you? What do you say when no one watches? Be ready, because your answer may live far longer than your name. Now I ask you, viewer, what's the sentence that revealed your heart? Comment below. Someone may need your words more than you realize. Don't just scroll, speak, because this time, someone is listening.